Hey everyone, FPS Chazla here. Welcome back to Coldwater's Soviet Coup 2. This time it's personal. We're in the old Skipjack. Last time was a fantastic outing, 2 excellent surface group intercepts, and today we got the boomer orders. We're gonna sink an SSBN, end the war. I already forgot which patrol area. Red 640. So let's ooh, we're very far up here. Okay. So we should have should be under the ice. Ooh, I'm gonna assume that's them, even though we did just get overflown. It may not be them. Air heading 139, contact 149. It's weird how those keep like lining up recently. I wonder if the somehow this campaign messed with that. Before you proceed, comrade. Alright, do those tubes get reloaded? Good. Close to 15,000. Storm calm. What? It can't be a storm and calm. Weak duct, weak layer. Okay, so hopefully it's not too noisy out here. It is an ancient Hindu text quoted by an American. He invented the atomic bomb. Later accused of being a communist.
On sonar, lost contact. Last bearing 1.
Oh my god, I'm right at the ice here.
Contact faded.
Make depth 100 feet. Dive by.
This is my wife's book. I keep it for sentimental value. I'm sorry, Captain. I didn't know your wife was a beautiful woman. Her death was tragic. But I'm merely doing my job. It is only my duty. Okay, where's this boat before I go sermonizing Hunt for October here? We're gonna get our great music, right? It's freaking under the ice. I was making sure my screen brightness was turned up. It sure as hell is. It's dark as hell out here. Okay, and it's dead of night. Look at this place. Pretty shallow. We're right into the ice. There's a little break over there. Polinia. How many agents does the KGB or the GRU have aboard my boat? Your boat, Captain. This boat belongs to the people of this, whatever it says, Union, Soviet Socialist Republics. Anyway, if the KGB or the GRU has agents aboard, I'll be the last to know.
Make turn.
Rig ship for ultra quiet. Make depth 200 feet. Dive by.
Oh, today's beer. This one is of a Special Forces variety. Same company that did the, or same brewery that did the, that Cat Shot lager, if anyone remembers that. Special Hops is the name of this beer. That alone was enough to buy it. Oh, we're not getting the under the ice music. I am disappointed. Does anyone know like any console commands to get certain music to play? I want the under the ice music. Wolfmark's a stout fan. I used to like stouts. And then at some point I migrated to IPAs, IPAs.
Dive at 200 feet. Dive by.
Yeah, so the acoustical conditions here are not great, not terrible. Bob, hello. APA, is that American Pale Ale? Yeah, so in the last time I think I said I was going to do like Dead Space first, then go to Cold Waters, but this could end rather shortly, and I'm on a bit of like a time schedule this evening, so can end with the game where it's easier to end. So we'll start with this first, then roll on to Dead Space. Excuse me.
Maneuvering. Make turns for 7 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Let's try and cover a little ground here. I don't think I've ever tried an American Pale Ale. Ironically. The meh phase of the SSD? Oh no, what does that mean? Since last time, thanks to Bushido Devil Dog for following. Thank you. Oh, hold on a second. Wait one. Okay, we're back. If it seems a lot quieter all of a sudden, it's because I'd forced mono on my operating system briefly for some video on YouTube that was rather off balance. I was like, why does this seem so quiet? It's all good now. Wasn't expecting warp speed. Yes, I cry as well. I cry for that non-mono audio voice. Should be pretty sweet, huh? Good old SSD. Let's take a peek.
Make turns for 3 knots. Maneuvering
Or take
aye.
a listen, rather, I guess.
Con, sonar reports ice ahead.
Oh, angled up.
Con, maneuvering. Making turns for 3 knots.
Oh, that's very far away, ice. Maybe not very far, but not close. Ice, ice, Captain. Go, turtle, go, turtle, go. Oh, no, sorry, not go, turtle, go, ninja. Go, ninja, go, ninja, go. Let's get back into this duct.
Make depth 100 feet. Dive aye.
Ooh, that's cool looking. Shadow coming across the boat as we move out of the ice. Definitely cool looking. Very cool, very cool. Oh, where's this boomer at?
Con, sonar reports ice ahead.
Drop of the jaw.
Con, dive at 100 feet. Dive aye.
Okay, let's get back out of this duct. We're gonna go at like 9 knots.
200 feet. Dive aye.
Whew. I did pick like 15 kiluyards for starting distance, so I could have like dice rolled pretty far. I'm sure there's been like some YouTube channel that's looked at it, but does game load times really matter too much still with like M.2 versus SATA?
Con, dive at 200 feet. Dive aye.
Part of me wants to say I do the M.2 for video editing, but I don't want to get too technical, but there's a trick to video editing where using a hard drive is still just fine for that. Just got to spend some time making a file format that's easier for the software to read. along with a couple of surprises. Excellent. Very nice. Okay, we're down here. Release from that.
Make turns for 9 knots. Maneuvering aye.
The ice is our friend in this
Con
one.
maneuvering.
It's some
Making
thick looking
turns
ice.
for 9 knots.
One terabyte of RAM. Sounds like one of our work computers. I think the one of the on the structural side, one of the codes they use. If you have like enough RAM, it can execute entirely in RAM, and that speeds it up greatly instead of having to transfer back and forth to a hard drive. So one of our machines has like 256 gigs of RAM. I think we got that like 5 years ago. But that was back when we were still like a small business. We got bought by like a much bigger company, and they got like high performance clusters now with 20 nodes and all this stuff. Still can't run Crisis. Freaking Crisis. I never bought that game. I played the demo a few times and that was it. I don't know, something about like Crisis, and that was like the same developers that made like the original Far Cry. I just didn't care for their style of game. I don't know what it was. Still waiting to buy that Crisis computer. Startup times with SSD are indeed nice. What the heck is SIPR or NMCI? Oh yeah, I bet FS 2004 benefited greatly from that. Something with my computer, the 7th gen Ryzen thing. There's something where it's like I think it has some feature where it like overclocks either the memory or the CPU at like startup, but it should just do it once and be done with it, right? Because nothing changes, but it does it every time, so it adds like 30 seconds to start up, and I haven't felt like trying to fix it. I just go somewhere else after I turn it on. And just come back to it later. But it is very annoying, because it used to be pretty fast before this upgrade.
Come right to 185 Helm I. Con Helm.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Just go all stop.
Make turns for 0 knots. Maneuvering aye.
All right, where's this dill hole? Oh, SIPRNet's the secure government network. It was weird going from like small business world to big corporation world with the internal intranets and everything like that. Something I had no experience with before. I had an internship at a big corporation back in college, but as interns we were kind of not exposed to any of that stuff. Damn, dude. Where are these dudes at? Let's pop above this lawyer again.
Make depth 100 feet. Dive I.
What the hell was that?
Con, dive at 100 feet. Dive I.
There's like one frame of looking at something else for a second there. It was odd. Okay, everyone, let's take bets. Typhoon, maybe get a pulse browse, I don't know. Typhoon or Delta? What are we going against here? Typhoon, Delta 4, Delta 3. First SSD was a 90 gigabyte, cost twice as much as the 2 terabyte M.2 you just got. Oh, what was my first SSD? Probably a 128 gigabyte A-data, maybe? Or was it Samsung? I don't remember. Either 128 or 256 gigabyte. I'm gonna say 128. I really can't remember. I wish over the years I'd been better at documenting what my computer specs were, but just to look back on and be like, oh, I had that then. It's easier for me to remember what CPUs I have as opposed to GPUs. I have a very storied history of GPU ownership. I think I had 2 GeForce 6800 GSs in SLI. That's a deep cut right there. And then from that, I think I went to like a 9500 GT, something dumb. And then I think I got my friend's old 7950 GX2, which was like 2 cards slapped together. Not SLI, like hardware slapped together. And then I think I got like GTX 260 after that. And then I think it was like GTX 970, then RTX 2060, and now RTX 3070 Ti. Oh, Sinka! Sorry. Trying to picture Chasley as an intern, 90s hairdo, jeans, and the sneakers. I think I wore like collared shirts and slacks. Office clothing has come a long way in 10 years. It wasn't 2 cores, it was 2 cards next to each other. Look up the 7950 GX2. It wasn't like 2 cards on like one PCB, it was 2 PCBs. Oh, I'm still all stop here. Okay. Let's get moving. Let's start covering ground.
Make turns for 7 knots. maneuvering I.
Come left to 155, helm I.
Make depth 200 feet, dive I.
Sound Blaster. I had a, I think I had Creative Sound Blaster Live 24-bit. Back in the days of dedicated sound cards. I think I first had that in like, that was the last machine I had before I built my own machine. And that was one I just like carried through, like pilfered it for a few builds. I think I've said this before, but ever since I built my first computer in like 2005, I've never done a full rebuild. It's always been like an incremental upgrade, like graphics card upgrade or CPU RAM MOBO upgrade. It's always been like that, alternating. I have never done a full rebuild.
Con, dive at 200 feet, dive I.
Make turns for
Bungo
9
Jungo, hello.
knots,
Never got to do
maneuvering
SLI. Start off with TNT 2, then GeForce 2, GeForce 3, 5900 XT. Oh, frickin' Doom 3. Radeon 9800. Oh, that sounds familiar. Back in the ATI days. Wow, there's like no end in sight to this ice sheet. Sound Blaster Live still lives. Voodoo. Seems like everyone I talk to either has no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to old computer hardware or was in the Voodoo days. I think I came in just after that, like 2005 was when I came into the building scene. I was so excited to get an AMD processor. It was so alternative back then. Go AMD. But that was when like Intel was at their lowest. Pentium 4. Are you kids today couldn't eject a floppy in DOS? AMD Thunderbird. Okay, yeah, that definitely precedes me. My first AMD was a Athlon 64. I think 3700 plus. How far have we gone? Just about 2,000 yards. Okay, we'll take another sniff at that point. For this boomer. It may not be a boomer. I mean, I'm assuming it is to come up here, but we got overflown by a few things. It could be like a diesel patrol.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Make turns for 0 knots, maneuvering I.
Yeah, single. It's hard to think. It's weird to think back to single core CPU days. $1 gigahertz, $1,000 USD on launch. Hey, nice. That processor that I have was so easy to overclock. I think it came like 2.2 stock and you could get it to like 2.8 without breaking a sweat. Oh yeah, the old pencil trick. Yeah, connect some circuits on the motherboard. Okay, where are these
Make
dill
left
holes?
100 feet. Dive I.
What was the first dual core CPU I had? I remember at one point I got an Opteron. I got the Opteron 165. Was that a dual core? I don't remember. It was a server processor. That was back when you used to get like server processors because they were designed to be super stable, so they had like a ton of overclocking headroom on them.
Con, dive at 100 feet. Dive I.
Athlon 64X2. Okay, that must have come after the Opteron 165. Maybe that was still single core. Vista did look good with the arrow. I never had it. Never had Vista, never had 8. I think at some point I got like some kind of like pseudo arrow theme for my XP because I thought arrow looked cool. Okay, I think we're about to go active here. I grew weary. I don't even know how far we've gone since we started this. Maybe 6,000 yards. Vista theme for XP and playing Need for Speed Most Wanted. For some reason, those two those two memories go like hand in hand. Okay.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering I.
Con.
Let's do it.
Con maneuvering. Making turns for 5 knots.
Hello.
Come right to 1.
Metal Gear.
Helm I.
Oh my god, we're being straddled. We're at a fork in the road, gotta make a choice. Go left, go right. Alright, we're doing
Come right to
saving Silverman here.
7. Helm I.
Going right. Can't even get a return.
Con sonar. Switching to passive search.
Make turns for 7 knots. Maneuvering I.
Launched in May 2006. Really? Oh,
Maneuvering.
Wi-Fi gaming back in the day. There was always those like every like minute there was like that like little lag skip as it like did some dumb shit.
Con. Helm. Steady course.
Remember, it's like a 13-year-old. I was like, "There's got to be like some metal in the house blocking the signal, man." No, it was just some dumb Wi-Fi thing that I was doing that just wasn't. I guess gaming just wasn't thought of. Always stuttered in Battlefield 2. Right when I was gonna kill someone. I think those experiences with those wireless lag spikes back then, I've just been like wired ever since. I need a hard wire. Oh, that's a torpedo. Okay, we got torpedo inbound. they took no time, just shot right at me.
Make turns for 1 5.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
I don't do that.
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
Make depth 250 feet. Dive I.
I hope it's got a wire. It's not wire guided, is it? I think we're going against diesels. I don't think this is the boomer patrol just yet. Okay, well we're gonna snap back on that inbound.
Con fire control, we've lost the
Oh,
wire.
right on launch there.
Make turns for 15 knots.
Oh.
Maneuvering I.
Torpedo's not really going in a great direction, but
Con maneuvering.
just
Making
gonna
turns
stick with one for now.
5 knots.
Come.
Make turns for
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Make depth 350 feet. Dive I.
Con helm, steady course. Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
The Deltas weren't too much noisier than the Typhoon here in the old, this thingamadobob there. The Delta 3 is a decent bit louder, but Delta 4 is right there with the Typhoon.
Con. Dive
Oh.
at 350 feet. Dive I.
More pingling-a-dings, so there's a torpedo launch over that way.
Come right to.
We're just gonna flank it.
make turns for 30.
Con sonar, we are cavitating. Con helm, steady course.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty much gonna be like a diesel boat. I don't think any of these nuke boats have wire-guided torpedoes. It's just Tango and Kilo, and I don't think they would be doing escort for the Typhoon. So I think this is just some submarine patrol that got whiff of me from the one of those satellite overflights or something. Okay, whatever happened there, that lost that wire, so that's fine with me. Can I defend myself around some ice? What do you mean? I mean, like run from one of these icebergs?
Making turns for
Kind of far.
30 knots. Make turns for 25 knots.
Still cavitating? Okay, let's go.
Make turns for
Full.
2.
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
Con maneuver.
Come right to 181. Helm I.
Just want to make sure I'm not missing out on a boomer, but I'm like 95% confident
Con helm.
there's no
steady
boomer here.
course.
That torpedo is much further away than I thought. I don't know about much. Oh, hello.
Make turns for 10 knots. Maneuvering I.
Con sonar, new contact bearing 213. Designated Sierra 2.
Con maneuvering. Making turns for 10 knots.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Con sonar, regained contact on Sierra 2, bearing 213.
Oh, no shit.
Con sonar, Sierra 1 is classified as submerged submarine.
Con maneuvering, making turns for 5.
Who's shooting a wire guided at me? I thought it was a wire guided, or was I
Sonar,
just seeing
Noisemaker
things?
bearing 250.
Wow, look at that lucky ass shot. May get that a cool and a lucky snapshot. Okay, so this is them. This is it. Thought these were, this was a diesel patrol. Holy shit,
Sonar,
damn.
lost contact. Sierra 1.
Okay.
Last bearing 253. Contact breaking up.
Hildebrand, hello. Look at that. Praise the sun.
Do it.
Hey, thanks,
Do what
Hildebrand.
must be done, Lord Vader.
Thanks for the resub. I fixed that at some point, so it shows up on resubs now. There was some weird, like, criteria for multiple subscribe months on my streaming software that wasn't configured properly, so just got rid of it. We did the same for all subscriptions. All to say, it's working now, and we get the glorious Bill Clinton, Emperor Palpatine. Okay, well, the Akula is quieter than the Typhoon.
Make turns for 9 knots. Maneuvering I.
Yeah, okay, there's Uzits, nothing to sneeze about there.
Con maneuvering, making turns for.
Maybe they are
9
wire
knots.
guided and it just doesn't say that they are.
Con, helm, steady course.
So there's something else all the way the hell out here, probably a Sierra or something. What else looks like this sonar profile? I mean, Echo kind of does, but it's not going to be an Echo. It's hard. I want to like keep this up here while I go through the profiles. I mean, it's not another boomer. The deltas look completely different. No, it's Typhoon, all right. It has a pretty unique profile. Might have seen a passive sneaking around, thought I was steering towards you. It went, I thought that same torpedo went like circle search over here. Doesn't look like an USET, does it? Maybe I'm thinking of Dangerous Waters USETs. But damn, dude. Snapshot on the Akula. Any given Sunday, huh? Oh, we're coming up on a Polinia. Typhoon has standoff torpedoes? Interesting. What happened to the contact to the northeast? I don't know. He is up there somewhere, but I got whiff of a typhoon on one of these on Sierra 2 down here, so gonna stick with it. I basically just like threw the dice, and it was the same as how'd you know he was gonna turn to starboard? Had to take a 50-50 shot. I'm sorry. I still don't understand that scene in Red October, but I just kind of gloss over when it happens and just move on to the next part of the movie, where Jack Ryan bluffed about which way Ramius was going to turn in the baffle clearing. Yeah, so I just guessed. I was like, I'm going to go right.
Con, torpedo room, tube 5 ready.
All right, let's take a lesson here.
Make depth 2.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Okay, it's by a Polinia. Makes sense.
Con, sonar reports ice ahead.
I'm gonna wager a guess the contact to the northeast is a Sierra. Somewhere north of greater than chance. Maybe 60-70%. That was payback for Scotland. What the hell did you just say, Surprise? Gonna do a flip, see, huh?
Make turns for 0 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Okay, well, the Akula is quieter than the Typhoon, but we didn't pick up the Akula per se. We just shot a torpedo and then it started running.
Con, dive at 200 feet. Dive aye. Make depth 100 feet. Dive aye.
Sleep deprived. CIA. I know this book, Ryan. Your conclusions were all wrong. Halsey acted stupidly. Torpedo impact. Now. I'll be damned. Combat tactics, Mr. Ryan. Captain turned into torpedo before it could arm itself. Well, and that's it? No. Tupolev won't make the same mistake twice. Currently removing all the safety features in his weapons. I think I got that order backwards there. Bachelor party. Oh yeah, I don't know. I think I just only said it in the Dead Space stream because in my mind it's all the same stream, but my girlfriend and I are engaged. Yeah. Fun stuff. I say it, I'm like, what do I do now? I said it. Commissar. Thanks, Ulti Brand. Thanks, Surprise. Do we have a date? No date. We don't even know what we want the wedding to look like, honestly. My cousin, I have a very large family. My cousin just got married on my dad's side. Here in the DC area, actually. But my dad is one of 8 children. And then on my dad's side of the family, there are like 21 grandchildren, and all of us managed to show up to this wedding. But then I also have that like same size like on my mother's side, so it's obviously not going to be like a full size wedding because that would just be obscene. There could be like 120 people just from my side showing up. Okay, let's resume the hunt here.
Depth 200
Dragon
feet.
hunt.
Bye-bye.
Male strippers who look like Ramius and Worf. Prune juice. Warrior's drink.
Make turns. Make turns for 9 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Passing 200 feet.
No knife fights between the rents? What? Yeah, my thought is to like would be like a small ceremony, maybe just immediate family, and then some kind of,
300 feet.
because the fun part's always like when you have like the dinner and the food or whatever, talk to everyone. Maybe something much bigger for that. I don't know what that would look like or what it would cost. But if mortgage rates are going to keep going up, maybe put off the home for a bit and put some money to a big reception.
Passing 400 feet.
Whoa, 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 what's going on?
Con, less than 50 feet below the keel.
I think I just like bottomed the boat here. Why did I bottom the boat? I'm confused. I wasn't paying attention. Didn't take any damage.
Passing 400 feet. Make depth 200 feet. Dive aye.
Maybe I pressed W by accident. Okay, crisis averted. Didn't see anything.
Con, sonar reports ice ahead.
We're still not even like, is that Sierra 1 solution even accurate? We're not even like abreast of the Akula yet. Emily Lake.
Con, dive at 200 feet. Dive aye.
Talking about the fiance there, Bob. Honestly, I think I want to have a bigger wedding than she does. It looks decently accurate for the death marker for the Akula there. I'm gonna wait till I get abreast here. But I think the Akula is inside the Polinia. No, it's not. It's pretty actually kind of far away. It's beyond the Polinia. Wasn't there one time when I was playing this and at like the Polinia edge there was some weird like graphical glitch that happened? Oh, that sounds familiar. I think that was at the end of the previous iteration of this, or the previous go-through of this campaign series here. When I was in the permit. No, I was in Skipjack. No, sorry, Sturgeon. I meant to say Sturgeon. I will always confuse them. It's not that I confuse the names. I know that like I know which boat I'm thinking of. I just say the wrong name. All right, let's look at when we cross this little line here. It's like the it's like in The Expanse when they cross through the gate. It's like a little bloop. All right, I will be right back. In the Navy, you can meet your fellow man in the Navy. Oh, Typhoon. The question is this guy trying to like get away from me at some kind of speed? What I'm trying to say is, am I actually catching up to this guy at all? It's also, he's very quiet, my sonar is very old. This may take the whole 2 hours. May not get to Dead Space today. How are my stores? I got 8 torps. Perfectly fine. Oh, okay. Earlier I said 10 noisemakers left. That's not where noisemakers are stored. That's tube stores. So I got 16 noisemakers. I'm perfectly fine. A spread of 3 to stir up the waters. Oh, I'll just ping to stir up the waters if it gets to that. I'm gonna like the game doesn't model it, but I think the edge of an ice sheet's supposed to be pretty noisy, but I'm gonna stop and take a listen when we get to the edge of this Polinia, because this is a pretty big stretch of open water. You could potentially stand off toward my ass inside that Polinia there. This is a pretty big one. And it looks like it goes on for like an indeterminable distance that away. But there's also an upborder to it right over here. I don't think it's, well, maybe we should stay underneath the ice, but let's take a listen.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
My GPU is at 40% utilization, running cold waters at 4K. Interesting. Thought it would be lower. CPU is only at 20% doing separate encodings for the stream and recording. $300 megahertz, that's why it's 40%. What? Oh, this Typhoon. Maybe we should troll it and just ping along the edge of the ice here.
Make turns for 3 knots. Maneuvering I.
Come left 2,
139, helm aye.
GPU is working so little the clock is reduced, but the meter shows higher usage as a consequence. Ow. I was gonna try and scroll over on the... I don't know if this tells me the clock. No. Hardware monitor does not tell me the clock. Temperature's only 58 Celsius, so yeah, not too much. Alright, yeah, this is ridiculous. We're gonna ping this sucker. Is anything like an i5 pre-build that normally clocks at 4 gig? What do you mean? Spraz knows what he knows, listens when he don't. Sure.
Con, dive at 1
Sure.
0 feet, dive by.
Okay.
Con,
Make turns for 6 knots, maneuvering aye. Con, maneuvering, making turns for 6 knots. Con, helm, steady course.
Oh boy. Pings to the northeast, huh? Maybe that typhoon only pinged before because there was a torpedo in the water. But that ping is really distant. I mean, I would expect such behavior from a boomer.
Make depth 250 feet, dive by.
Tough to find an i5 CPU that clocks that high. Well, the clock isn't everything.
Con sonar, switching to passive search.
Alright, let's
Helm right 2,
let's try and get across this
helm aye.
Polinia here.
Make depth 350 feet, dive by.
Nuclear War Simulator. I saw it. I have no desire to play it.
Make turns for 15 knots, maneuvering aye. Con, helm, steady course.
Con, dive at 350 feet, dive by.
Hey, Matty Conrad, hello. Almost missed your comment. Put another torpedo in the water. Maybe we should.
Make turns for 20 knots, maneuvering aye. Con, maneuvering.
It's weird to be out from under that ice.
20.
When you're under the ice, you can't tell how close you are to the bottom. I guess that's because there's no shadow. And normally there's a shadow. Yeah, benchmark isn't... Or, sorry. Freudian slip. Clock speed isn't everything. It's more just like what it does in benchmarks. All right, let's do it. We're gonna launch a torp on the last bearing of that Typhoon there.
Shoot 2-1.
Oh, look at that instant ping. Oh, there's a torpedo.
Come left to 136, helm I.
See, that looks like wire guided behavior. Let's double. Oh, I don't want to. Well, we're gonna lose this wire.
Helm, steady course.
Let's double back the other way. What's that torp gonna do? What you gonna do? CPU speed is a lot for single thread games. Yeah, that's true, but I just look at benchmarks of processors to see how they do in single thread games. Because there's like instructions per clock and there's
Fire control,
other
we've lost
things.
the wire.
Oh my gosh, I wanted to stop this turn.
Come right to 318.
Yeah, that's a wire
helm
guided
I.
torp. I guess Usit is wire guided.
Con, helm, steady course.
Bad torps, bad torps. What you gonna do? Yeah, let's just keep going this way. I'm gonna flank it.
Make turns for.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Uset is not a wire boy. This torp is definitely looking like it's wire guided. It's following me. Let's give an exhibit. Gonna come back 180 here.
Come right to 134, helm I. Con, helm, steady course.
I did it before. What? It did it before. Son of a bitch.
Come left to 090, helm I. Con, helm, steady course.
I'm surprised we have not. Well, we're running a flank. I'm surprised I haven't picked up that Typhoon. Oh, see, look, it just did it. It just changed course. See, look, I'm not crazy.
Con, maneuvering, making turns for 30 knots.
Oh, getting a ping from the northeast guy. Interesting. Still very distant. I want to be closing on Sierra 2. I'm not closing on Sierra 2. Got this wire-guided torp.
Come left to 355, helm I. Con, helm, steady course.
When we say pre-built, are we talking like HP, Dell, like big computer companies, or more like boutique, smaller things that tend to have smaller margins? I think both suck. I mean, building a computer is I find it easy. That doesn't mean everyone finds it easy or has the time to do it necessarily, especially if like troubleshooting comes about or anything like that. Thermal paste under your fingernails. The killer had thermal paste under their fingernails. New motherboards suck. They're all so expensive. I got the cheapest like B chipset I could get for AMD because I don't overclock. Like I'm fine with just the stock boost. Isn't overclocking like almost pointless these days? Like the returns are so tiny over the stock boosting. But like a $700 motherboard is like the dumbest thing unless you plan to actually go kingpin and do like liquid nitrogen
Come left 2.
overclocking or some
Con
nonsense.
sonar, no longer cavitating.
What is that torpedo doing? Is it coming this way?
Come right 2. 0, 1, 2. Helm I.
I'm really confused.
Come left.
Make turns for 3, 0.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Oh, is it circle searching?
Con, helm.
I think it's circle
steady
searching.
course.
But it's like passive circle searching. Non-X, some performance on the table. Okay. Buying a Dodge Neon to go racing. Well, are you getting a Dodge Neon or are you getting an SRT4? Who the hell remembers SRT4s?
Make turns for
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
Alright, CR2 is still pinging. We're gonna steam that way. 20 knots.
con maneuvering. Making turns for 2, 0 knots.
I used to enjoy overclocking. I think maybe it's just because I lost interest in it or didn't keep up with it, but it felt like it got very complicated about, I guess about when I got Ryzen 1700, I was looking into getting into more overclocking for that. Oh, I used to have one of those Athlon FX 8350, whatever bullshits those were. That was AMD's low point. Overclocking that was a pain. And I think I did overclock my Ryzen 1700X to some extent. But it just, I feel like it got really complicated at some point, or the returns were just so tiny. I just don't have the time. I don't want to spend like a whole day trying to tweak it. I guess just a priority thing when you lose all the time. It's like I have a job, I could just buy the slightly faster processor at this point. Young me would like scoff at that, I think. But I think overclocking was easier back then. And then there's always like some software that doesn't like overclocking. So then it's always like, I'd rather have the stability. Because even with like a pretty stable overclock, it will crash every now and then, I feel like. Inexplicably. If there was a software not liking the OC, it means you were not stable. The biggest example I can think of that for me was installing Medieval 2 Total War. It would not install on an overclocked computer, but as soon as I took the overclock off, it would install just fine. And it would run fine with the overclock. It just would not install with the overclock. Matty Conrad, I just don't care about performance enough to do it. Yeah, it's just like those extra frames. It's kind of like...
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
It's always like an evolutionary improvement. It's never... You never get revolutionary gains from overclocking. A proper overclock is 24/7 stable. I would agree. With the caveat that you could test the overclock for infinity to prove that it's stable. Not to get too pedantic, but I guess it depends how long you like MEM test it or stress test it or whatever, huh? Something about like what the manufacturer knows is stable just wraps me like a warm blanket. I'm like, it'll be stable. Heat up the room a bit. Yeah, that's precisely why I don't want to do it. My apartment does not shed heat, even when the temperature gets to like below freezing. -5-ish Celsius. Still will not get that cold in this apartment. It's both a blessing and a curse. This guy is still pretty far. That's not a very strong ping. What happened to that torpedo? Just missed the typhoon?
Come left to 230. Helm I. Con, helm, steady course.
Yeah, I don't know why I decided to upgrade. I guess I was kind of bored. I decided to look at what the new tech was capable of, and it's definitely a difference in like video rendering space. Like my renders go like almost 2 or 3 times faster than they did before. Okay, my torpedo just blew up. I saw that. So definitely worth it in that respect. This processor upgrade. No real difference in gaming, which I wasn't expecting. All on the editing side. Oh, we're finally just now abreast with that Akula. Okay, interesting. It was a good bit further. It was like a good mile further. All right, let's can we get a return on this dude? Or can we get a solution, a contact? He's not stopped pinging. That's interesting. Is he going to stop pinging when he loses track of me? Survey says yes. Gonna stop pinging when he loses contact of me. Interesting. So he was tracking me that whole time. Obviously, I was running 20 knots, but just interesting. So which means he's probably slowed down too and gone quiet. Oi, oi, oi.
Make depth 100 feet, dive I.
Make turns for 3 knots. Maneuvering I.
Oh, that's so funny. So my CPU is at like 20% utilization right now. It's obviously running like the game too, in addition to the streaming software. But the streaming software says it's only doing
Sonar reports ice ahead.
0.3% CPU usage. There's no way it is that low from doing two separate encodings at the same time. Okay, something's bugged with OBS's CPU counter. Ain't the stream and the recording running the same settings? Nope. I do a high quality offline encoding for the VOD to YouTube. I usually do it with the GPU, but I was planning to play Dead Space today. I don't think that's gonna happen. But I was trying to like test that out with that, because the OBS has been like not really crashing but like freezing. So like if you were there for any of those Dead Space freezes, like the output freezes, the stream like drops, but like the audio meters still work, chat still comes through, but like the stream preview is frozen. I'm looking at my stream monitor. So I was gonna see if like for somehow the graphics card was getting maxed out, which is certainly a possibility on like Dead Space Remake. And then it did it on Friday with Atomic Heart as well, which has been very annoying. Been spending some time trying to debug this crap. All right, let's go back to 350 feet and try and
Make depth 3.
chase this guy down a bit here.
10 knots. Maneuvering I.
So I offloaded I do the high quality encoding on the GPU, so I moved that to the CPU because I was going to debug that, but I don't think I'm getting to Dead Space today. Maybe after dinner? I don't know. Maybe not. Probably not.
Make turns for 20 knots. Maneuvering I. Con maneuvering, making turns for 20 knots.
Con, dive at 350 feet, dive I.
God, there's the old Sierra 2 track. We still have not reacquired this guy. Always annoying in this game. Wish you could. I'd like Dangerous Waters develop solutions off active tracks. It definitely has to be like a demanding game thing to go back to the stream freezing, whatever you want to call it, because it doesn't happen with Cold Waters, or I guess I haven't streamed Dangerous Waters on this update. I found a thread that seemed rather pertinent. It was like it was a rather recent thread on the OBS forums, and it deals with like this latest version of OBS, and several people have mentioned having like the same graphics card as me, which is all very curious, but no hard solution yet. All right, we're gonna come up to 3,000 yards here. Take a peek from the last peak. Try and chase down this Typhoon. I'd liked the shooting a torpedo to get him to reveal himself, like Matty Conrad suggested, but then he shoots an Usit, and then I have to evade because the Usit is quite a threat of a torpedo. Maybe we should just balls to the wall it and just flank it. Make a lot of noise. Try and draw this guy out. Maybe shooting a Moss in his general direction might be an idea. Veer off to one side or the other. Wolfmark's biggest problem with this game was patience. Only able to go slow for like an hour to hunt one subber to get advantageous position to fire its surface fleet. For me, if I haven't even established contact yet, that's when I start to get really impatient. But if I have gotten a whiff, it's easier for me to stay motivated in the fight. Like, we've gotten several whiffs on this guy. So I'm like, so close. We're gonna shoot a Moss.
Shoot 2-6. I
Come left to 1-8. Make turns for 2-0 knots. Maneuvering I.
See if a Moss somehow draws this guy out. Trying to draw this guy out without
Steady course.
getting
Con
return
maneuvering,
fire.
making turns for 2-0
Because then I have to actually evade and run away. Oh, you know what? With the Usits, I feel like I remember. Oh, sorry. I just grabbed a screwdriver for some reason. I guess I wanted something to fiddle with. Banged my light pole. I think Hobbit Jack for Dot Mod said that there's a bug where Usits aren't supposed to be wire guided, but they are wire guided as like a bug. Because it was definitely exhibiting wire guide behavior, in my opinion. I think the time warp is too low. I think it's like 9 or 10x. There's no clock in the game, which has also always been a bugaboo for me about this game. No clock. Oh, it got a little deeper. Still can't go flank and not cavitate. Can I go just under 400 and go 25 knots and not cavitate? Typhoon makes 26 knots, huh? How much shaft horsepower does that thing have? Does SHP for ships stand for shaft horsepower or ship horsepower? I always thought it was shaft horsepower. Shaft, that's what I thought.
Con, dive at 400 feet, dive I.
What's the equivalent for cars? It's like 300 at the crank.
Make turns for 2-5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Excellent. Maybe get 2 miles lateral, this guy.
Maneuvering, making turns for 2-5 knots.
I guess I just realized that this guy might be going like westerly or northwesterly. Left to right. Yeah, ships have the don't have to worry about losses through the transmission or the differentials or anything. I guess it's the equivalent of wheel horsepower though for a car.
Come right to 236 helm aye.
Yeah, no, crank is different. Yeah, shaft and wheel,
On helm, steady course.
I would say, are the same.
I don't know what the analog would be to crank for subs. Maybe turbine.
It would have to be turbine. No, it would be turbine. Does using horsepower to a reactor even make sense? I don't think so. It'd have to be the turbine.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
It's kind of a close ping.
Passing 400 feet.
Oh, hello. Wow. Okay. Ooh, holy shit.
Make turns for 3.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
I think he's at this iceberg.
Con, sonar reports ice ahead.
I think he's stuck on this iceberg.
Come right to 090 helm aye.
Oh, you know what? I
Helm
guess
left to
I
324
wanted to
helm
run to
aye.
that frickin' my moss. Might be tricky.
Con, knuckle formed.
Yeah, there's gearing on the ship. Unless it's the narwhal, which is like direct connect. Oh, I think he did another circle search torpedo. Or did it go to the moss?
Make
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
Is that my torpedo? Yes.
con maneuvering, making turns for 20 knots.
Boom! Oh, we got a hit. I don't think he's dead.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 2, last bearing 233. Contact faded.
Make turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering aye. Con maneuvering, making turns for 15 knots.
He's right there and we can't get a return on him. Oh, that northeast sub is so distant. Narwhal, yes indeed. What a unique boat. Very atypical for an American submarine. Surprised a boat like the Narwhal even existed. Seems contrary to the Rickoverian sub-safe
Con sonar regained
attitude.
Contact on. Sierra 2, bearing 233. Con sonar, Sierra 2 is classified as submerged submarine.
Are we that freaking close to this guy? Holy shit. That's a big bitch.
Make turns for 20.
I still got a wire on this thing.
Maneuvering aye.
It's not shooting for some reason. What is that
Con
torpedo?
maneuvering, making turns
Oh, that's
for
okay. That's his torpedo.
20 knots.
Con sonar, launch
Oh,
transmit
God.
from Sierra 2.
Make turns for
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Con, torpedo room, tube 6 ready.
Boom. Still up. Still up and at him.
Con
Not so
sonar,
fast.
No longer cavitating.
Shoot.
make turns for 2.
Con, sonar reports ice ahead.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Con, torpedo room, no reloads available.
Oh shit.
Con sonar, regained contact. Con, helm, steady course.
We're just gonna
Con, fire
run
control, come
directly
right to
away while I still has this
0,
wire.
1, helm aye. Con, helm, steady course.
Con, sonar reports ice ahead.
Forgot to pay the bill. Oh god, I'm heading right for an iceberg. I didn't realize I passed an iceberg. Glad I looked at the map. I was like, oh look, ice.
Con sonar lost
Boom!
contact.
God, that thing is
2,
freaking
left
big.
Bearing 2, 2, 2. Contact breaking up.
Hey, there you go. Victory, Screech.
Con maneuvering, making turns for 30 knots.
Alright, we're gonna try and get around this iceberg for this torpedo. Because we got it available for us.
Con sonar, torpedo in the water, torpedo in the water. Bearing 2, 3, 4.
Con, sonar reports ice ahead. Passing 300 feet. Con, knuckle formed.
Didn't even want to knuckle. How far away that torpedo is?
Come right to 0, 4, 4. Helm aye. Con, helm, steady course.
Or did it already smack into this iceberg? I think it smacked into the iceberg.
Make
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
Yeah, she was like a test bed for some tech used on the Ohio Seawolf and such.
con maneuvering, making turns for 10 knots.
Iceberg strats. Oh, can I hear that like typhoon wreck? I want to look at it.
Make depth 350 feet. Dive high.
Come right to 136. Helm aye.
Make turns for 5 knots. Make turns for 3 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Excuse me.
Con, helm, steady course.
Yeah, the narwhal had like scoops like the Soviet boats do for that third reactor loop cooling. If I am understanding correctly, the turbine is hooked up directly to the screw on the narwhal, while for every other American submarine there's some kind of reduction gearing transmission kind of thing in between. It also had a, I think, fully convection cooled reactor, as in no pumps, or up to like 20 knots or something. Didn't need to run reactor pumps. The cooling was the big deal, yeah. That's what got carried on to future designs. Okay, I think the water is clear. I wanted to reacquire the boat. Oh, let's just time-lapse to it.
Make turns for 1. Make turns for 1.5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Just want to look at my catch. Look at my kill. This is a quick 2 hours
Con,
for one
torpedo
mission.
room, tube 4 ready.
Sometimes it can kind of drag.
Rig ship for ultra quiet. Con, sonar reports ice ahead.
Is that not close enough to acquire this thing yet?
Make turns for 1.
Acquire the
0
shipwreck.
knots. Maneuvering aye.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
There you go. Big Bertha. All of this enormous ass submarine is all just to fit the ballistic missile it carried. It's the only reason this sub exists. As opposed to like Delta 4, which is a much more cost-effective platform. Okay, let's give it the old leave combat. Ah, it was a Victor 3, the other escort. Excellent job. Hey, there you go. Just 5 days before I was born. Punching through the ice. Yeah, it could launch surfaced, huh? It's always an interesting feature of the Soviet boats. Can the American boats launch surfaced? It's one of those things where it's like, you can, but why would you? Red Rebellion. War gets civil. As in Civil War, as opposed to being civilized. Look at all that submarine tonnage. This was a rather submarine-centric. Okay, well, to be fair, that Typhoon accounts for like almost 20% of that tonnage. It's an insanely large boat. And apparently is like titanium hulled too. Maybe I thought it was titanium hulled and it's actually steel hulled. I thought I saw it was titanium hulled. I don't know. Very expensive submarine either way. Excellent. Okay, there we go. 1990 Soviet Coup Part 2 in the books. Not even too bad with a skipjack. I feel like that would just be a cakewalk in LA. Hey, there I am. I guess it would be maybe move to like the highest difficulty level, which starts like I'm on like advanced, which is the second highest, which is like I guess the realistic, as it were, as it pertains to how the game is modeled. So the first two difficulty levels are like handicapped to you. And then the third difficulty level, which I played on, is like no handicaps. And then the fourth difficulty level is like handicapped against you. So they just like reduce your sensors and everything like artificially per the game. I don't even remember what like the frickin' difficulty settings are called. We can take a look. Yeah, difficulty realistic. Yeah, easy, casual. So these just like, I think they nerf the sensors in your direction. I think they nerf the enemy sensors in the opposite direction. Maybe like easy nerfs the enemy sensors and casual doesn't affect them, but it just like boosts your sensors, and then elite degrades your sensors, and it may boost enemies, some aspects of enemy sensors. It's all in like the text files. Oh yeah, elite is like artificially difficult. Realistic is like the proper setting. I remember when I first played, I put distance scale to 1:1, but like torpedo evasion is bugged at 1:1. 1:2 is what it's designed for, so I just keep it at 1:2. It's like Tom Clancy SSN. I think that's 1:2 as well. I was surprised to use the max elite. I could probably play on elite if I was just playing by myself. But I'm fine with realistic, especially like on a stream. I always get sidetracked and overlook things, so it's a little bit of forgiveness in there. Oh, your ship was way louder than mine, Wolfmark. Oh yeah. Yeah, the difficulty settings. I don't think many submarine games have difficulty settings. Tom Clancy SSN, I don't think did, but I haven't played that in frickin' years. I know none of the Sonalis games have difficulty settings. It just is what it is. It's just auto crew on or off, basically, is all you get for difficulty settings, as it were. Alright, so we'll stop it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, coming up next, I think I'm going to actually commit to a 68 campaign, but I think I'll go back to dot mod. At one point when I first started playing, I think I tried a 68 campaign half-heartedly, but I just have to prepare myself mentally for the slog that will be going against Novembers with Mark 37s. But I think I need to do a 68 campaign. It's really fun running and gunning against surface ships with those Mark 17s, Mark 28s, whatever those frickin' straight runners are. Mark 37s, Braz can't. It should be better in dot mod because they get rid of that frickin' last second baffles torpedo detection nonsense. So you can properly sneak up on a Soviet boat and sink them. Soviet 68 could potentially be interesting too, but no, we're gonna do NATO's 68 because I have yet to ever finish one of those campaigns. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. No Dead Space today, just rounding out stream time at the moment. In the future, I might move to like 3-hour Sunday streams. because of the combined like 2 games in one. But yeah, that'll be it for today. Good campaign, good last mission. That last stream was like pinnacle of perfection. That was a very good stream. But I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one, and as always, good hunting.